Hello and welcome to the short Vort on Parsha's Terumah. This short Vort is adapted from the words of Rabbi Gamliel Rabinowitz in Eretz Yisrael from last year, 5781, shared that same year by Rabbi Moshe Altman on R N.I time. We've now entered Rosh Chodesh Adar. The time of Purim is arriving. That means Haman, that means Amalek. Amalek are the people that try to cool off the Jews from their Yiddishkeit. The people they attacked were the weaker Jews. They weren't powerful enough to approach the stronger Jews, the ones that were inside the Anani HaKavod, as we discussed in a previous short Vort. So they focused on the weaker Jews. When we are trying to improve ourselves and we're finding that there's a challenge, we're having difficulties, but we're making efforts, we need someone to be mechazik us, we need someone to encourage us, or at least we should look at some satisfaction internally for the progress that we are making. If someone were to come over and say, well, that's it, that's all you're doing, then they're a mekarer, they're cooling us off. That's the midah of Amalek. That's the lack of Yiras Shamayim. Rather, if we see someone who's taking the next step, no matter how small it is, we should encourage them and not be mekarer them. We could focus on the good deeds that they do. In this week's Parsha, the Mishkan, you had the walls were made out of wood, but they were covered with gold. V'tzipisa osam zahav, or in pasuk chafhei pasuk yagimel yasa badei atzei shitim v'tzipisa osam zahav. A lot of wood is covered with gold. This is teaching us, says Rabbi Gamliel, that we have an obligation to look at the positive. We shouldn't go over to someone and says, "Oh, you're just a piece of wood. You're not worth much." We have to look at whatever they're trying to do positively and build that up. We should say, oh, you've done this, you have gold on the outside. I see gold on the inside you. I see gold inside you. With this, we can wipe out the zecher of Amalek. Amalek who took the weak and made them weaker. Rather, we should focus on the good that people are doing. For parents especially, when your children, catch them doing something good, not just catch them doing something bad. Even don't catch them doing the bad. Focus on the good. Happened to be searching for something last night, and I came across Rabbi Noach Isaac Oelbaum's his opening words on Kinnis of Tisha B'Av 5781, and he says, if a guy comes into a Jewish house, he looks around there and he sees the menorah, he sees the silver, the kosos, he sees svarim, he sees Shas, he sees so many different religious things. He says, there must be a mistake. This is not a house. This is a synagogue. And he says, Rabbi Oelbaum says, this can be explained in the words, Ki beisi beis tefillah yikare l'chol ha'amim, that my private houses appear to the goyim as shuls. And I think that fits with this week's Parsha, because this week's Parsha says, V'asu li mishkan v'shachanti besocham, make for me a mishkan, so that I can dwell in them. And we learn that the Socham teaches us that in each and every person there is a sanctuary, there is a Mishkan. So perhaps now we could add together and put a different dimension, that whether it's a Beis HaMikdash, whether it's a Mishkan, whether it's a shul or someone's house or the person themselves, all these things are different sanctuaries that a person has. So let us realize that each and every Jew is a golden sanctuary. Let us encourage and be mechazik each other by catching each other, whether it's friends, families, or others, in their doing good. Thank you for listening. Have a wonderful week and a wonderful Shabbos.